What led you to write Beauty Rules?
The reason I wrote Beauty Rules because I really believe in empowering women, and there's never enough that I can do to really help young women learn and feel good about themselves.
I know you've been a makeup artist for years, and you do talk a lot about beauty in your book and also on your website. Has your idea of what beauty is changed from when you first started?
Well, I've always thought that all women are beautiful. I've never been one that thinks only there's a certain, kind of woman that's beautiful. I love exotic beauty. I love mixed beauty. I love unusual beauty. And I just think that I could take any single person and look at them and see the couple tweaks that would make a big difference so they would look like themselves just a little bit better.
Hmm. So did you find that going into the makeup industry that this was an unconventional view, and how do people respond?
Well, certainly when I started my company 20 years ago and I started, being a makeup artist over 30 years ago, I was definitely a rebel because makeup was always much more elaborate, exotic, and I always liked a very natural, beautiful face. It wasn't a washed out face, it was just a beautiful nude face that just enhanced a woman's natural coloring. And there were no colors on the market that allowed women to do their makeup that way. So that is how I started my company.
Some of our customers have some, I guess, advice questions that they'd
Yes.
love to ask you. Okay. Steph Bates wants to know makeup tips for people with glasses.
The best thing to do when you have glasses is make sure that you wear concealer and a little powder over it so the glasses don't rub the makeup off. And make sure you fill in your brows and you line your eyes all the way around and put mascara on because that would have your makeup stand out. Otherwise, you really get lost behind your glasses.
Okay. Craig Moore asks, is there such a thing as a work-appropriate smoky eye?
A work-appropriate smoky eye depends where you work. If you work, on Wall Street or a bank, it's not really appropriate to do a very smoky eye. You could use maybe softer browns to do a little bit of a strong, more than a daytime look, but not quite an evening. But if you work in the fashion industry or, an architecture firm, you could definitely get away with a smoky eye, but just not on the whole lid, just closer to the lash line.
A couple of our customers said that a lot of the makeup tips they find in magazines or online don't work for girls with more hooded lids. So what are some eyeshadow tips and I guess eyeliner tips because they said that they've had the problem of just like the eyeliner getting all over their eyelids.
Right. Well, the reason that eyeliner would get all over an eyelid is it's a transfer problem. So if there's too much moisture on the lid, if you line your eye with a product that isn't prepared to stay, for example, a pencil, when you open your eyes, it's going to transfer and make a mess. So if you're going to use a pencil, you've got to make sure the lid has powder on it first and that you put some kind of an eyeshadow over a pencil. So you have to get the moisture out of the lid first, and that's really the trick. And then a gel liner will never move. So that's a much better way to line your eyes.
All right. So we have another one from Laura Swinnerton, who says that when she lived in California, her skin was great. Now she's moved to a much drier place, and foundation, she just doesn't know how to use it. So what kind of foundations or skin tips do you have for new dry weather dwellers?
Well, if you have drier skin, I suggest a richer face cream, number one. I like to layer creams. I start with a hydrating cream, which is a little bit wet, and then I layer with a richer cream. I use one almost every day that I make called Extra because my skin is very dry. But also, you can even skip both of those steps and use a tinted moisture balm that is a richer cream with makeup in it. So it's three things in one. It's a foundation, it's a moisturizer, and it's an SPF.
Colleen Kilgus asks, what's the best way to cover dark under eye circles without makeup looking clumped on your face?
Well, the best and the only way to cover dark under eye circles, you start with a hydrating eye cream, just a teeny bit of it. You use a corrector first, which is either pinky or peach, which will counteract any kind of purple or blue under the eyes. Then you add a yellow tone concealer on top of it, making sure you go in the inner corner of the eye, put a little bit of a yellow powder on top of it to lock it in place, And there's really no other way to do it. I've tried a million different things, but for very, very dark circles, that's the way to do it.
Another question that we have is, you mentioned in your, I think it was your Today Show interview, that readers are seeing more and knowing more about makeup because of the internet. As someone who's been a makeup artist for a long time, what do you think about the phenomenon of YouTube makeup tutorials?
You know, I am amazed and kind of obsessed with the makeup tutorials, especially the ones that are so bad. But you can't stop watching them because they're not. To me, they're not. Some of them are great. Some of them are simple and great, and I'm really proud of the girls that do them. But some of them are just so sloppy applied that they don't look that great. But you know, everybody likes watching makeup applied, so I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, the people are doing more of the videos and why people are watching them. The secret of beauty and makeup is simple. Just be who you are. Feel good about yourself, and that's the key. Thank you.
Okay.